Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Goffstown High School. My name is Scott Gross. I'm joined by Bill Ruel for a big game today, Bill, between the John Stark Generals and the Grizzlies of Goffstown. And these are like two of the better teams in Division II facing off today. And should be a real good matchup. I think Goffstown comes in about, 10-2? And Stark is
9-2.
9-2. They did 9-3, I think.
Well,
no?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Because they've had lost to Souhegan, lost to Milford.
Okay.
But both those games were close.
Yeah, so this game is going to be a really pivotal game as we head into the home stretch right before the playoffs. So Goffstown's going to make the playoffs. So is John Stark. It's a matter of the seedings at this particular point. And right now, the team that is to beat is Milford. They're undefeated in Division II, and Goffstown plays them. What is that on Wednesday? Right.
Wednesday,
away
yep.
In Milford. So in terms of statistics, Goffstown again comes in with a doing well overall in the season. You know, the issue for a lot of these Division II teams, Bill, is there's about 6 or 7 teams that are doing well in Division II, and then there's a drop off, and in some cases a big drop off.
It's just like the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
I know that Stark, some of the games, they played the West. They played the Lebanon, Hanovers, Merrimack Valley. So, a number of those are soft wins.
Yeah.
So they must have some tough games coming up too.
So we've got Callie Colminen at the shortstop. She'll be leading off for John Stark. In the circle is Gifford for Goffstown, and she shows bunt, and that pitch is low for ball 1.
Colminen's a senior this year. She played last year against us and didn't do much in the lineup.
Shows bunt again, and that's low for ball 2. And you got Brennan playing at third. Shortstop is Watterson. Second base is Coyle, and Mullen at first. Both first baseman and the third baseman are coming in on that, and Gifford delivers a strike for a 2-1 count. Watterson and Coyle are playing at normal depth. That's fouled off. In right field, we've got Page, right? And that is Brianna Page. Center field is Kara Lendry, and then Sayo Cervella is in left field.
Good pitch.
And that's a strikeout for Shannon Gifford. And Kaylee Colminen goes down swinging. In steps number 15, Haley Philibot, the center fielder. Again, we got Brennan playing in at third. That pitch is high for ball 1.
Philibot played last year. She was 1 for 3. She is a senior.
And she swings through that to even out the count at 1-1. So this is we call this post-prom game for Goffstown, and they have not fared too well in post-prom games. And that's in the dirt for a 2-1 count.
Yeah, I saw a lot of prom gowns on Facebook.
So we got Brad Parkhurst here doing the scoreboard and the announcing. And Butch Gifford on the camera. She shows bunt, pushes it to first base. Gifford picks it up, throws over, and a nice job by Tegan Coyle to head on over to first from her second base position. Tegan has played really well this year. Defensively, she's done very well, and she's hit the ball. So all around, I think Goffstown has been well served by Tegan at second this year. And in steps number 25, Izzy Nelson, and that's in there for a strike. And John Stark is cheering on Izzy. And that pitch is high to even the count at 1-1. We've got a partly sunny day here in Goffstown, about 75 degrees, beautiful day. Our cameraman Butch Gifford's wearing long sleeve. He must be a little bit hot, but he's not. He said he's cool. And that's low for a 2-1 count. Helicopters coming in.
They're late to drop the ball.
Yeah. And that's a popped out of play down the first base side. And a nice pickup by a father over there. And that evens the count at 2-2. And behind the plate is Alex Page. I forgot to mention that before. I apologize. That ball's hit sharply to Watterson.
Nice play.
She throws over to Mullen for the third out of the inning. Nice scoop by Watterson and smooth throw. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Goffstown as we head into the bottom of the first inning. So let's see what Goffstown can do in the bottom half of this first. They're going to start off with Kara Lendry. I think it's important for Goffstown to put some runs up here early and put a little pressure on John Stark. This is a good team. We know it. And in warm-ups, look like they field their positions well as anybody. Pretty good velocity from the pitcher. That's Izzy Nelson. And you're saying she's a freshman?
Yeah.
Wow. They're going to have some years ahead of them there. It's the Nelson sisters, right? Izzy and Sydney Nelson. This is where I think Goffstown has been a bit inconsistent in terms of hitting good pitching. You know, they've done very well against lob pitching or not the fastest pitching. But when you get a good pitcher, and we faced one in St. Thomas, and now looks like we're going to be facing one here for John Stark. I'm pretty sure we'll get one in Milford on Wednesday. So this is really where the rubber meets the road for Goffstown. They've got to hit the good pitching. And you got to try to find a way to claw 3, 4, 5 runs on these games, and then you got a chance to win them.
Although the girl in Sanborn the other day, she had some speed, and they took advantage, and they got some timely hitting there.
So infield is playing in for Lendry, and that first pitch is high. So we're talking all around they're playing in. So they're looking for bunt from Lendry. She fouls one off late to even out the count 1-1.
We got a left-handed catcher.
Yeah.
And she hits one in the hole, so that's the price that you pay.
Run.
Oh, my goodness, she was safe. Come on. Butch, can we have the replay on that one? And Lendry's fast, so. But you know what?
Got to get out of the box quicker, though.
Yeah, I got to take this call, by the way.
All right. Now in batting is number 12, Tegan Coyle, second baseman. Tegan's up in the front of the box. Drops down the first pitch, a bunt. She's going to run and beat this out. Yes. Beautiful bunt, Tegan. Beautiful bunt. Looks like the catcher lost her footing. And we put Tegan now on first with Shannon Gifford. Number 8, the pitcher, is up. Shannon will probably stand up in the front of the box. Back a little bit today. And she takes a mighty swing, looking for Pinardville.
Yes, she was.
Another swing. All right, 2 strikes. Now here's where she's got to cut down on her swing a little bit and make contact. Yeah, that's all right. So we got a K. Still goes down to second, the runner, on a good move.
Next up for Goffstown, number 11, shortstop, Justine Watterson.
Brannon's at second. Waterson steps in. Waterson had a great game over at Sanborn. She was 4 for 4. Runner on second with 2 out. Nelson on the mound and winds and throws. And we swing through it. Need to have some early runs today, I think. Chipped that ball. Didn't get a real good piece of it.
Sorry about that, Bill.
Runner on second.
I figured that was going to happen. So we got Waterson up. She fouls one off. So how did we get to second base?
We had a bunt by Coyle. She got on to first, and then she took off on the strikeout.
Okay. Okay, so that was Shannon Gifford struck out.
Mm-hmm.
That's
low.
Yeah. Low and outside for a 1-2 count. Coyle's got to keep her. She might get a pass ball here. That's one thing that I noticed with this pitcher is that I think you got to be careful. Waterson with a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Ooh, that one was too close for comfort, but she doesn't get the call. And that's a 2-2 count that was inside. Got a left-handed catcher. And go, she's got to run. And everyone's going to be safe. So that ball goes off the catcher's mitt. That would be I called that an error on the catcher, pass ball. And Coyle goes over to third, and I'm going to assume that Waterson is going to maybe try to steal second, or I don't know. It's kind of tough to say.
Early in the game.
Huh?
Early in the game. I don't know. Let's see.
But do you try to get somebody in a pickle here, too? You know, throw down and then do a little bit of a rundown. See what they do. That's high.
Remember, this girl's a freshman.
Yeah.
So she's not afraid to throw this catcher. She should go anyway because the second baseman will never.
Look where the second baseman is, yeah.
Yeah, second baseman's playing way over towards first.
And the shortstop coming in.
And that pitch is high. You're right. I agree with our cameraman, Butch Gifford, here. This is an opportunity to go because the second baseman is playing, I'd say, 60% towards first base. And that's in there for a strike. Again, Coyle is 60 feet away from scoring here on a pass ball or wild pitch situation. A 2-1 count to Brennan. Mullins on deck. And she hits one sharply to the shortstop, and a nice job by the shortstop. And that was Kaylee Colmainen, and she records the third out of the inning. So Goffstown goes down, but some base runners stranded. And with that, we've got a 0-0 game headed to the top of the second inning. All right, so we're going to head into the top of the second inning. John Stark will be batting their 4, 5, and 6 hitters, and Sydney Nelson will lead off for John Stark, number 27.
She played third last year, as she's doing today, and she was hitless at 3 times at bat. God damn
You
it.
got
Get outta
Yellow
here.
Jackets, right?
Hornet.
Hornets. That's in there for a strike to Nelson. It's like we're going to have a battle between 2 pitchers today. That's what it just looks like. And she goes and swings after a little bit of a high one, and that's an 0-2 count out to Nelson. And this is always a good rivalry between John Stark
Almost like
and
a crosstown.
Goffstown. And this is it, though, right? Because we're going to go Division I. That's in the dirt. Paige tries to stop it, but she couldn't. So yeah, this is one of the downsides when you go to and you change division. So a long rivalry that we've had with John Stark will no longer be. You'll now be playing the likes of the Merrimacks and Concords and Bedfords. 1-2 count. And she chases a high one and goes down swinging. That's Gifford's second strikeout of the game. And in steps Sarah Ferguson, the first baseman.
Ferguson played last year as a shortstop. She was up 3 times, was on base once.
And that's in there for a strike. Gifford is doing well today. She's good control. As soon as I said that, I jinxed her. She went in the dirt, 1-1.
Worm ball.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You can do those things without anybody on the bases. So you can, if you want to try to crank it up a little bit. But then when you've got runners on base, you got to be careful. That's in there for a strike for a 1-2 count. So John Stark is screaming, Fergie, Fergie. Makes me think of the royal wedding coming up this weekend.
You're not invited, Brad?
And that's a strikeout. Yeah, Brad Parkhurst was invited, but he can't go because he couldn't get a flight. So, Lily St. Ange, number 10, she steps up. She's playing second today.
Stogner.
Stogner. I thought it was St. Ange. I'm sorry. Stogner. That's Brad. Say it again? Stogner. That's Brad's penmanship got me on that one.
She batted 8th last year. And she was 0 for 3.
What's our count on that? 0-1? 1-1. It's a 1-1 count. And that's inside for a ball, too. 2-1 count with 2 outs here in the second. No score. Shows bunt, but that's going to be a strike. It's a little bit high. So now we've got, again, 2s across the board here.
Again, she's up in the batter's box, too.
So Lily Stonger.
Good pitch.
And she gets her.
Pays
And
the side.
she strikes out the side. That's right, Bill. So now Gifford's got 4 strikeouts for the game. And we'll be heading into the bottom of the second with Mullen leading off. Your first year of college?
She's only thrown 22 pitches so far.
Well, no, I take summer classes.
But not Kim. Jinx.
Not for
Oh, it's fine.
they don't offer any summer classes. Only online. Yeah, it is. I don't like online.
Makes a big difference.
Have you done any online? Or?
Stamina-wise.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be disciplined.
She was pretty well spent Friday night.
Leading off the Goffstown, first baseman number 10, Kaylee Moore.
So in steps number 10, Kaylee Mullen. She plays first base for Goffstown. She's having a great year at the plate.
Good year with the glove,
Yeah.
too.
She's made that last game. She made some unbelievable defensive scoops. Kept Goffstown in the game. And she takes strike 1 down the middle. And again, you look at John Stark defensively, they play a little bit shallow in terms of their positioning. But as we saw in that first inning, the right fielder had no problem getting a putout from out there. So if you look at it, they're all playing really shallow. Center fielder's playing shallow. Right fielder's definitely playing shallow.
Put a ball in the gap.
You put a ball in the gap, yeah, easy double. Fouled off.
Ups.
All right, he got behind the ball. That's all you can ask for. So it's a very interesting outfield defense, actually infield and outfield defensive strategy for the Generals. I mean, you have big gaps, but by the same token, they're able to get plays, like they did in that first inning. And Mullen hits it to third.
This girl's got an arm.
And nice scoop.
Pick up.
A little bit low, but the first baseman picked that up. That was Sarah Ferguson. So Mullen grounds out to third, and in steps Brianna Page.
I almost think their outfield's playing like they don't think we can pull the ball.
Yeah, well, Goffstown's got some hitters, so they could be in a world of hurt if that ball,
Watch the ball.
a line drive, right?
Watch the bunt.
And that ball's hit sharply to first by Ferguson. Scoops it up and puts the second out of the inning. A lot of ground outs here.
Now up, left fielder, number 16, Sayer Sarvella.
Sayer Sarvell, the left fielder, steps in, number 16. And right down the middle. That's Sarvella pretty much takes her first. That's my scouting report on hers. High for ball one. So you had Brianna Page, Bree Page. She had first pitch swinging. Sarvella took that first pitch. Even the count 1-1 now with 2 outs, bottom of 2. And she, long swing there, and she's now in a 1-2 hole. So Izzy Nelson, the pitcher's got a pitcher's count here, setting up Sarvella. And Sarvella goes down swinging. And that was that's the third strikeout for Izzy Nelson. Yeah, so for those of you who are ordering pizza, you might want to call in on this one because this thing could be over in about an hour, the way this thing's going. So we head to the top of the third scoreless. So we got a lot of Goffstown alumni here in the press box, which is very nice that they come back to support their team. I think Ali Lombardi, she's trying to get a jersey to put on, see if anybody will recognize her. Maybe she could slide into the lineup.
Close.
And on music, we've got Melissa Mullen today, which is very nice, or commonly known as Bean.
Eight, 9, and 1 for them.
Yep. That would be
Auburn. Auburn did not play last year. She was on the team.
Anyway, wait. Auburn is 7 hitter. No? So it's 7, 8, 9.
7, 8.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Now, sometimes I get confused because we got designated players and flex and.
Auburn is a junior.
Leading off to John Stark. Number 12, the left fielder.
A little slight build to her.
Yeah, but I tell you, slight build or not, she fired that ball in on that play. That was I was the first batter for Goffstown. It was Lendry, and Lendry's got good speed, so it's not like you got someone chugging it down there. So in steps Auburn, and she doesn't. Yep, nope. She fouls one off, and you got Brennan in quite a bit at third, playing for the bunt. Mullen is in about 3 steps as well at first. Shortstop and second baseman are about normal depth. And that's in there for strike 2. So, again, Gifford is firing heat and hitting corners today. And that's another strikeout. That's 4 straight strikeouts for Gifford. If this was like Yankee Stadium or Fenway Park, they put the K's up. in the outfield. But a lot of Ks for both teams.
Stogner.
Yeah. And that's another strike. I'm saying even St. Stark's pitcher, Izzy Nelson's got quite a bit of. She had 3 strikeouts herself.
Stogner's a junior. She played last year. 0 for 3.
It's the catcher. Ball's a tad low, called a strike by the umpire for an 0-2 count.
She's a left-handed catcher.
Left-handed catcher, bats righty. And that's unusual. Usually it's the other way around, right? Usually you throw right, bat left. And that's a nice job staying in there. It was a pitch very similar to that second one that was called a strike, but I thought it was kind of low. But she did a great job protecting the plate. And that's in the dirt by about a foot. A waste pitch by Gifford. See if she'd chase it. She did not.
Got her.
And that ball's hit to Watterson,
glove.
out of her reach. So that's a hit for Anna Stenger.
How about number 5, the right fielder, Brooke Patton?
You think Pat Node will bunt here? But the
Patno's a sophomore. She was on the team last year.
so she bats lefty. Let's see if they try to bunt.
Oh, yeah.
Bunt her over. Number 9 hitter. She does show bunt, and that pitch is low. And Coyle covers first, and Watterson is covering second. And let's see what Cervella does here. She got to be careful on some of these plays. Either Page has got to go to third on some situations, or Cervella's got to come in. And that ball is going to stay fair, and that's overthrown. And she should have thrown to second. Home.
Run at her. Runner.
Runner back to third.
You got a little bit of a pickle. Everybody's dropping in here, and she's
Go
done.
third.
And Mullen wasn't paying attention, and she had a chance maybe at third.
Okay, so
2 outs now, runner at third base, and that's really great base running by John Stark. So they had a pickle going on at third, but wise base running by number 5, Brooke Patnode, to go all the way over to third. And this is where you always got to be paying attention. I'm not saying we had a great shot at Patnode at third, but you got to be looking. In the dirt, great job by Alex Page. That saved a run right there. 1-0 count now to Kaylee Colminen, the shortstop. She struck out in her first at bat. And she hits the ball to Tegan Coyle over to first, and Goffstown gets out of a jam. So a base hit and then a bunt play with an overthrow. So it was an error from our catcher. Great job though by Page, and but in that particular situation, I think she might have thrown it. Do you think she threw it to the right player on there? Because I think she should have thrown it to second base. She threw it to almost to first base, and then that allowed the runner then to go to second.
Again, that's a tough play with
Yeah.
the runner going up the baseline.
Yeah.
You got to make yourself some type of target.
Well, that's what happened. So, that's
what.
what Mullen needs to do on that situation is she needs to actually go on the other side. So you touch the white bag, and you set up on the inside part of that first base line to give a target. You just can't do the normal business.
And the play here in the rundown,
Yeah.
there should have been somebody standing on third base.
Yeah. But they did. Everybody kind of closed in on that. I did see that. They all closed in. So Goffstown averts a potential crisis there in the top of the third. And let's see what they can do at the plate here. And
Leading off the Grizzlies, the catcher number 15, Alex Page.
let's not, I was going to sharply hit ball to Tegan Coyle, but you know what? She makes the play for that last out. Alex Page bats 9, and she takes a high strike, albeit.
Some chatter today.
So it's a 0-1 count to Alex Page, the catcher. She saved the day in that bottom of the third on a little bit of a low pitch. Got behind it. And she fouls one off a little bit late on that swing. But the good thing is that Goffstown's making contact on some of these. And you hope that when they come around that second time through the order that they've kind of got her speed down. She got a fouls off another one off the wall, the kitchen wall here at Goffstown High School for an 0-2 count. She's got to swing a tad bit earlier, and she'll connect. Fouled another one off.
Good.
Way to hang in there, Alex Page.
Well, she knows with 2 strikes you can't keep your bat on the shoulder.
Well, that's the other thing too. If you swing and you miss, at least you tried. So another one.
I want you to look at the right fielder.
She's coming in every time,
Yeah.
right? She's charging.
Look where she is. She's
Yeah.
probably not
Yeah.
20 feet,
Yeah.
20 feet behind the
Which
third
can be
area.
dangerous. I mean, if she's swinging the ball late, right?
Here she comes.
That's safe.
Good call.
Nice job by the umpiring crew here. The home plate umpire didn't know the call, asked for assistance, and now it's a 1-2 count. Alex Page. And she fouls yet another one off.
At least they're not going on the roof.
Yeah. Still a 1-2 count to Page, the catcher. You're right, that left field is playing awfully close. And she scoots in. 2-2 count. You're right, so even on the windup, the left fielder
Is moving.
is moving in.
Right fielder.
Yeah, the right fielder. I apologize. That's Brooke Patnode. So she's playing a real aggressive right field for John Stark. And that's a huge gap. What a beautiful pitch. Off-speed pitch. Took a little off that one. And strikes out Alex Page, who had a very good at-bat, but Izzy Nelson won that battle.
So they're going to be playing shallow again.
So 4 strikeouts for Nelson. And that's right in there for Carol Endry. That's a strike. And again, playing a shallow center field, I'd say, and a very shallow right field.
Left fielder's deep.
Which is a bit odd because if they're having a hard time pulling the ball against her, you would think that you'd protect against a late swing, which means that your right fielder wouldn't be playing in. But like that.
Yeah.
You follow?
Right.
Yeah. So
Or at least protect the gap a little
correct.
bit, too.
Then your center fielder needs to move over. One-two count. And she's done. She watches that one go by. That might have been on the outside part of the plate, but you got to protect in that situation.
So Coyle's up. She laid down that bunt first inning, got all the way to third.
And now, help me, Bill. I had to step away. Take
Bunt
the first base side or third?
first base.
Oh.
Actually, the catcher fell down trying to
Oh.
retrieve it.
So a 1-0 count to Tegan Coyle.
Yeah.
And she hits one right by the third baseman. So once again, Coyle comes through, and she gets on base.
Good job.
So a base hit for Tegan Coyle. Good speed on the base path as well. And now in comes Gifford. And what did Gifford do in that first? I missed that one. She struck out, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So this is pitcher against pitcher here.
Left fielder's deep. I can't believe the right fielder's in his
In the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher, Anna Stenger. Beautiful play. So we've got 1 out. Is it 1 out or 2 outs? 2 outs.
2
I
outs.
apologize. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Runner at first in Coyle. And sharply hit.
stay at second.
And Gifford gets a single. Stroke that one to left field, and Coyle moves up to second. So we've got 2 back-to-back base hits, and in comes Justine Watterson. And Watterson, well, last game was 4 for 4. Let's see what Coach Fleming has in store here for Watterson.
She got on an error.
She struck out, and then the ball got by the catcher.
Mm-hmm.
And then in doing so, the catcher then I think overthrew it.
Yep.
So this is one of the challenges that I've seen with the pitching for John Stark is they got to keep the ball, in the catcher's glove. So Goffstown's got to be cognizant of balls that get away from the catcher. So in steps Watterson. We can use a big hit here. I think a base hit would score a run. Coyle's got good speed. And that pitch is high. I tell you, I like what Coyle is doing at second base. She knows that the second baseman is way over to first. Shortstop, she can see her, so she's taking a huge lead on the release of the pitch. Great base running. That ball's over the head. This is going to be trouble. We've got Coyle coming in to score. Here comes Gifford. She's going to be going to third base. This will be a close play, and it's not fielded by the third baseman, so Watterson goes in there. We'll give her a triple, and she scores 2 runs. So a big hit for Justine Watterson coming off a 4-for-4 game, and a clutch triple brings home Coyle and Gifford. So 3 straight hits by Goffstown, 2 singles and a triple, and we've got a 2-0 lead here with Liv Brennan coming up with a runner at third.
You talked about the whole game, how shallow they
So we talked before about that's in there for a strike. How close the right fielder was playing, and you know what? I don't know if she would have had that ball even if she was playing 5
she's
feet.
backed up to her normal spot now.
And that great stop again by the catcher Stenger, and that was textbook catching right there. She got the chest protector, got low, chest protector, stopped the ball. So Brennan with a 1-1 count, 2 outs. And another great job by the catcher. She's good.
Even for a lefty, right?
Lefty, righty, ambidextrous, I don't really care. She's just getting behind that ball and stopping it. So, and that's a 3-1 count now to Brennan with Mullen on deck. Again, now the right fielder's playing in once again. Wow, called that a strike. Looked like it was inside part of the plate, unless Brennan is going to be getting an Academy Award for going off the plate, but maybe. 3-2 count. We got Watterson at third. She just hit a triple to score 2. And Brennan goes down with a swing there, but Goffstown picks up 2 runs.
On 3 hits.
On 3 hits, back-to-back hits. So Watterson does the damage there. And Goffstown now leads 2-0 heading into the top of the 4th inning. All right, so what do we got here? We've got
2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4, yep.
I still think we're going to need more than 2 runs today.
Oh, yeah, I would say we definitely will. There's my good friend Kevin Mullen. He was telling me, he goes, he heard me chewing French fries, so I apologized to the audience the other day. I was hungry, and I had a couple of fries and picked it up on the mic, which I didn't think was going to happen. So apologize to all of you out there in TV land for that one. And thank you for Kevin for letting me know. All right, so we're going to head in now to the top of the 4th inning with the 2, 3, 4 hitters. We got Haley Philibot, the center fielder, and she grounded out to the pitcher. Yep. So we got Brennan in about 6 steps at third, and Mullen's also playing. Infield's kind of in on her. And she swings through that one, and that bunt. So that's strike one.
That was in between a regular bunt and a running bunt.
It was, yeah. What do they call that again? What's the term, Butch, when they run and bunt at the same time? What's that? That's strike two, a slap bunt. Yeah. Yeah. You see that a lot with lefties, but not really a righty. But so an 0-2 count now to Philibot. And she wanted to chase that one, but she was good. She was patient. She held back. Now it's a 1-2 count. And that's what it looks like the strategy is in terms of the pitch calling, is that they're going high and outside on those, I call them the garbage pitches.
That's it.
And that's in there for another K. That's her sixth strikeout of the game.
Yep.
And in steps the pitcher, Izzy Nelson.
Nelson hit to Justine Waterson.
Yeah, and Justine had a nice scoop and throw on that one. And that ball is in the gap. Let's see if Paige can get there, and she does. So Brianna Page, nice job in right field. That ball hung up there a little bit, and Paige was able to get underneath it. So, and now
She was a
Sydney
strikeout.
Nelson, right? She struck out in the first. She plays third. And now Brennan is playing even with the bag. Mullen 1 or 2 steps in. And that's in there caught the outside part of the plate for strike one.
I think you can back up with this girl, which doesn't really embody a lot of speed.
And that's a home run. A home run is going to be a 2-1 game. That ball was rocketed out of here by Sydney Nelson and cuts the lead in half. That ball left the park really fast. And that puts a little bit of life, a little bit of kick into the step of John Stark. And that ball, as quickly as it went and crossed the plate, it left.
High pitch.
Yep. So a home run for Sydney Nelson. And now we've got a 2-1 game. That was a no-brainer home run. And let's see who's going to collect that one. The Chipmunks or the Squirrels are going to get that one. Her mom is going to get that one? Maybe. That was tattooed.
So now Shannon's got to shake that off and
Yeah,
come back. And
she's got to
get this
come
girl.
back. And this is Sarah Ferguson, the first baseman, and she struck out. And pitches high. You're right. It's all about with pitching. You got to have amnesia. You know, you throw a bad pitch like that, hung it, and you get hit with a home run. Now you just got to bounce back and throw strikes. And she does that. So it's a 1-1 count to Sarah Ferguson. You were right, Bill. I mean, this is not going to be one of these games where, 2 runs is going to do it. This is a game where you probably need 5-6 runs to have a decent shot at winning.
Something awry.
Now, not for nothing, Bill, but like this game is like a tale of two cities when it comes to the umpiring. It's like very, very good calls here. Consistent behind the plate, and that's in there for a strike.
Good
And I
break.
think it's tough, for listen, umpiring is a difficult task in and of itself, but you just gotta, the strike zone's can't be moving from inning to inning. And she shows bunt, but with a 2-strike, why are you even bothering, right? I mean, do you really think that she's going to bunt? If I'm Brennan, I do not move any closer than that, right? Why are you doing that? Right, it's 2 strikes.
2 strikes, 2 outs.
But she's going to charge. You'll see.
Maybe throw the pitcher off
Yeah.
a little.
2-2 count. We got 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. We got 2 away. And that's going to be caught. Oh, no. She stay with it. She can't stay with it.
Oh.
So Coyle had it that went out of her glove, but then Mullen wasn't really there. And then by the time she does, and she just couldn't get out of the glove. That's an error on Coyle. And it's an error on the second baseman, and now Stogner. And she struck out as well. So these are the types of things that get you in trouble when you're a defense. You give up, you give up a home run, and you just want to get out of the inning, and then you get an error there. That pitch is low for a 1-1 count.
You know, I wonder if she just faked to throw it first, would that girl take off?
I don't think so. But I'd like to see Bree Page get a little bit better. A little bit better.
Yeah.
She's got to get to that. No, Bree Page is the
Oh,
right
yeah.
fielder. She's got to get. She's got like 3-second delay here on those.
Lost it.
You see?
Yep.
She's waiting. She just has to charge over to that line every time. And now it's a 3-1 count. So Gifford's in a little bit of trouble here right after that error by the second baseman. And draws a walk. So now we got runners at first and second base. And in steps Elizabeth Aubin. She's the left fielder, and she struck out.
Yep.
So Gifford's got to just take a deep breath here.
Any base.
And that's foul ball. Lucky, because if that would have hit the glove of Brennan and then come back into play, that would have been a fair ball. I like the fact that Brennan is guarding the line, though. That's a good move. But the fact that she was way ahead of that one makes me a little nervous.
Tag
Step
third.
on third, and that'll do it. So Brennan unassisted to third base, but John Stark gets a run on the board, and that was a big home run by Sydney Nelson.
One run, one
And
hit.
now we'll head into the bottom of the fourth.
Sydney, I told you.
And what do we got? We got Mullen again. So that's the second time that Brennan made the last out of the inning. And Mullen will lead off. It'll be Mullen, Bree Page, and Saya Sorvella in the bottom of the fourth.
Got to get some hits down here.
Yeah, and this is
That or get on the
right.
base some way.
Yep.
Yes,
That was a good shot.
well done.
That's a highlight reel for number 27. It's nice. We know that Butch Gifford seems to know the third baseman.
Has it for dinner.
Probably has her over for dinner. Yeah, you're right. That's okay, Butch. We know that softball community is a small community and a very loving community, and tight-knit, and they take care of their own. And a lot of these girls play ASA together, right? Yeah. It's all good. So Mullen, what did Mullen do? She grounded out to third.
5-3. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, an off-speed pitch.
And she takes a long swing. I don't know. She's smiling on that one, but I don't know. Got to keep the head on and just fire away here. Let's see. I'd see Mullen poke one out. And she looks at another one.
All right, this is her problem. 2 strikes.
Yeah. Well, it's any hitter's problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. So we got a 1-2 count to Mullen. That pitch was a little bit inside. And that's going to be caught by by the shortstop. She got a little bit of a late jump, and the sun is tough here in Goffstown, but she had a great play on that one. So Mullen pops to short, and for the first out of the inning, and again put out by Kaylee Colminen. So Bree Page, she grounded out to first,
Yep.
unassisted, in the second inning. We got a little bit of footwear tying going on right now. And a nice, other than that one inning, other than that, Izzy Nelson's done a nice job here. That pitch is high. And this was quite the battle, right? Was it Bree or was it
Bree.
No, it was Alex Page that had that great at bat, not. And then she struck out, but it was Alex. And that pitch is low for a 2-0 count. And right now, Goffstown just needs base runners. That's what you got to, your job is if you can get a hit, great. But if not, try to draw a walk, get on. Because then that creates a lot of issues for the defense. And she swings right through that one. That was a good pitch. So number 14, Bree Page with a 2-1 count here, 1 out in the 4th. And she fouls one off the roof. That one's not coming down. $8 down the drain. How much are these balls now? How much? Oh. 2-2 count.
Watch it change it.
And that ball's going to be caught by the right fielder and
Good
hung up there.
Good positioning
Yep.
there.
And in comes Sayer Sarvella, and she struck out in her first at-bat.
Swing.
And she gets a piece of that one. That was good. She took a first crack at that because
Yep.
she usually lets the first one go by. So she's being a little bit more aggressive. And she takes strike 2 right down the middle for an 0-2 count. Now she's in the hole again. And this has been, I think, kind of her nemesis. It's really tough to be a hitter with like 0-2 counts, 1-2 counts. And she goes down swinging, and that'll do it. And we head into the top of the 5th inning. Goffstown leads 2-1. All right, so we're going to head into the top of the 5th inning. And leading off the top of the 5th is number 11, Anna Stenger, the catcher, who has had an exceptional day behind the plate. Bill, I mean,
Yep.
she has stopped a lot of potential wild pitches or pass balls, and there's no doubt.
1 for 1, though.
So she got a base hit up the middle. And let's see if Watterson changes anything up here. Maybe shies up the middle. And that another base hit up the middle. And Lendry's up there quickly. That was a beautiful hit.
This bottom of the order has hurt us. Both
Yeah.
of them have
Yeah.
got hits.
So this was a last time Brooke Patnode went up there, she bunted. But now you got to watch out. So now Cervella has got to come in from left field, or the catcher goes over there.
Second baseman should really start to cheat.
I agree. But in this situation, if you remember, we played, what team was it the other day where the catcher went down to third? And I'm going to watch Cervella on this. Yep, she's coming in. But she's got to run in a little bit harder on that. She's got to sprint. So it's a 1-1 count. Here comes the bunt. Shows bunt, but she pulls back, and now it's a 2-1 count. No outs here. Base hit by Stenger.
See, even Sarvella should be in a little.
Yeah, she should cheat in.
She sees that. Come on.
Yeah. Nice stop, but now Gifford's having problems getting strikes across the plate, and it's a 3-1 count. So if you thought you didn't see, if she draws a walk here, if you thought you got a bunt before, you're going to definitely get a bunt in the next one. And she fouls that one off to 3-2 count. Let's see if John Stark decides that they're going to maybe run here. It's not advisable, but you never know. We haven't really seen anybody run on Page. So
Shortstop should be cheating to second.
Yeah, but she's not. She's playing.
Same position.
And that's ball 4. So we got you're right, Bill. 2 singles and a bunt and a walk. So now we got runners at first and second. And now you're going to see Kaylee Kolmainen up. And this could be big, big damage right here by John Stark. Let's see if they're going to have her bunt. I'm not so sure. I don't know. It's kind of, what do you think? You think you bunt here?
I'm going to let her hit.
She struck out her first at bat and grounded to second. So, again, Watterson is very key here, but look how far away she's playing. So if it's
she's going to third.
She's going to third. And that ball is going to be trouble. She won't. What is she doing? Okay. So that's going to be bases loaded now. So she must have thought she had a play at first. I guess it was a lot closer than we thought it was. So now we've got a hit by Kaylee Kolmainen. Timeout now called by Matt Fleming. Let's see what they're going to do here. So Philibot grounded out in her first at bat, and then she struck out in the second one. But this is big trouble here for Goffstown as they're in the top of the 5th, bases loaded, no outs. And with the meat of the order coming up, we got like 2, 3, and 4 up.
Yep.
And 4 hit jacked a home run. So just to recap, we had a single up the middle by Stenger, a walk to Patnode, and then another single to right field by Kolmainen, and in steps Philibot. And let's see what she does. Infield is playing in on the corners, and that's a strike. So it looks like Watterson is cheating over to third on this, showing bunt, and that's high for ball 1, a 1-1 count.
So they're going to do the wheel.
Yeah.
She's going to go there.
Yeah.
Second should go.
And that's going to bring home 2. Maybe not. It was a weak throw. A very, I don't know what she was doing. So the catcher just stood up at home and didn't move. And because the ball went out of play, 3 runs now score. So it's a 4-2. So it's a base hit up the middle, but Lendry did not throw the ball coming up strong. No. And she threw the ball, and then there was no cutoff by the pitcher. And then the catcher also stood on the base, even though that the ball, she should have come off. So just a lot of mental errors on that one play, and it very costly. So runner is at second now. It's a single and an error. And now it's the pitcher. So we've got, 3 hits out of 4. And that ball gets by Page. No one's helping her. And the pitcher doesn't go to the home plate. So there's a lot of mental errors here going on. And on that one, that's the pitcher's job is to point to the catcher.
Tell her where the ball is.
And she fires that one by. So right now, Shannon Gifford's job is to stop the bleeding here. She's given up 3 runs here, all on solid hits. Runner at third with no outs. And another strike. So it's a 1-2 count. And let's see what Goffstown is made out of here. Foul ball. Nice piece of hitting, though, by 25 Izzy Nelson. But unfortunately, that ball went foul for her. So it's now a 1-2 count with a runner at third. And really, Goffstown just needs to kind of stop the damage. And a little outside. Good look, though, by Gifford. That was a good pitch. A 2-2 count now. So John Stark was very, very patient. And that's in there. So Gifford does what she needs to do there. Gets a strikeout on Izzy Nelson. In steps Sydney Nelson, who homered.
What do you think? Matt Walker?
I Walker. Yep, and she gets intentionally walked. Because I don't think she's a steal threat. And if they do, then... So Ferguson...
He may send her just to see what happens to third base, though.
So in steps Sarah Ferguson, shows bunt, and she takes it. All right, so Matt Fleming, the coach, has conceded a run here by saying going to first. So it's now an 0-2 count. So Fleming is basically saying, I want the out. So he's willing to give up another run here.
I don't know about that.
Well, he said go one.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, if the ball gets hit to Brennan, she's going to check. Nice job by Paige on that high pitch. Now it's a 1-2 count. Still only one out in this long top of the fifth where John Stark has plated 3 runs. And that's a 2-2 count. Great pitch by Gifford, but a way to hang in there by Ferguson. She, you could see Gifford. You saw her from facial, her grimace, that she was rearing back on that one. Coyle playing a deep second base. And that ball is hit to center field. That could be trouble. And that's out of there. That's a 3-run home run by Sarah Ferguson. And that one makes it a 7-2 ball game. And John Stark has opened this one up. Still one out. And Lily Stonger will step to the plate. She struck out and walked. So instead, let's see what. I don't know, a lot of smiling in that circle. I'm not so sure about that, but you gotta try to stop it now. So John Starks puts up a 6 spot here in the top of the 5th, and they're still going, and that's in their first strike. And she gets another strike.
In reality, I think we should have 2 outs in this inning. We made some better plays. Got her.
And she gets her. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's possible, Bill, but by the same token, let's give John Stark. Yeah. I mean, they got like 4 or 5 hits there, home run, and we're talking solid hits. And that ball's hit to the third baseman. Brennan fires over to Mullen, and that'll do it. But the damage has been done. John Stark in the top of the 5th puts up 6 big runs to take a 7-2 lead. And let's see if Goffstown can kind of come back and scratch and claw, pick up some runs here in the bottom of the 5th. You know, I think this is a bigger test for Goffstown to see how they face this type of adversity. They're down by 5 runs, and this is when you look at, this is one of the better teams in the state in John Stark. I'd say top 4. And if they're going to go anywhere deep into the into the playoffs. Goffstown's got to show some resiliency here and scratch and claw and get back in this thing. And the quickest way of doing that is to put some runs up in the same inning where you gave up 6.
Yeah. Nine, 1, and 2.
So we got Alex Page, and she struck out in her first at bat, but she had a good at bat.
10 pitch at bat.
Yep. Good chatter on the Goffstown bench right now. That's what you need. You got to keep your spirits high. And that pitch is high by Nelson. Got to get base runners if you're Goffstown now. That's the key. Got to get runners on. Another high one. 2-0 count. And that's in there for a strike, a 2-1 count now. Outfield is playing, I think, kind of in, Bill.
Not as far as they were earlier. No, now she's coming.
And that is high for a 3-1 count. So again, if you're Alex Page, you got to get on, and they can give her a courtesy runner. Get someone like Danny Vermette on the base paths with tremendous speed. That's what you need here. And she takes a pitch, looks like it was on the inside part of the plate for strike 2. Full count now to Alex Page, who's got to protect here. And she hits one. It's going to drop in, and it does. She's got to keep going.
Run.
Slide. Safe. They're looking at each other. That was an amazing thing. Both of them looked at each other. Wow. Both umpires looked at each other on that play. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Give her a base
I think
hit.
what happened was, I think that the umpire on the first base side, I think his field of vision was blocked, and he needed help.
Should come. Yeah.
Well, he was over there
Right.
before. And I think what happened, Bill, was that when the ball got thrown, he could not see. But also, Paige, I thought she should have run a little, right? Right? Was that me or? I don't know. I'll have to see. We'll check the videotape on that one. So in steps Landry. And, okay. So that's a ball to Landry. She's showing bunt. I don't know. Maybe she's just showing bunt. And she bunts through that one. I don't know why we bunt in this situation. You're down by 5 runs. You got to get a hit. You got to put the ball in play, but they're calling for a bunt sign.
I'd let her swing now.
And she takes, that was a close one. And that's ball 2. That was borderline, folks. So now it looks like Landry's swinging away. On deck is Coyle. And she swings through that one. Now it's a 2-2 count.
Come on.
And she goes
Change
down
it.
swinging.
Hit her with a soft one.
Pulled the strings on that baby.
So we got 1 out. You know, in those situations, you're trying to get the runner over as best you can. And so now Coyle comes up, and she's got a bunt single and a single. So she's 2 for 2, and that hit her. So now now she gets on. She's getting on any way possible.
Yep.
Number 2, Shannon Gifford.
That's called taking one for the team right there. All right, so now it looks like John Stark with runners at first and second with one out. They're calling a timeout, and now Gifford's up. And again, Gifford is one swing away. Maybe this is a two-run game, so
your
we'll
catcher
see.
set the defense.
Yep. So we got Gifford, and then after that we got Watterson on deck. And Watterson had that triple. Gifford had a single at her last at bat. And that is high. Again, I wish we had multiple cameras. We don't. But again, just awesome base running by Coyle. I mean, look at the lead that she takes, Bill, on the release.
Watterson's at second. Coyle, yeah.
No, Coyle is at first
Yeah.
base. We got Vermette at second. She's the pinch runner. And that ball's hit to third. That's going to be,
Oh, she should have just.
all she had to do is step on.
Stop.
Yeah.
Or if she stopped,
So that's
then you make the girl
right.
chaser, right?
Yep.
Fielder's choice.
Fielder's choice, and now 2 outs. And now Watterson. Watterson had a triple. Now they're going to give her a
they're
little
not going
bit.
to pitch her. Not going to give her too much to hit, I don't think.
Well, would you ever walk the bases loaded here? Because Brennan
Yeah.
grounded out to short and Cade. You would do that
Yep.
rather than pitch to Watterson?
Just think she's had 4 hits yet. The last
She had
game.
4 hits in the last game, and
Yeah.
she hit it really well. But I think they're going to go after her. Not with a 5-run lead. I think you attack it. And look, now they're giving her respect. They're playing her deeper.
Yep. That girl could touch the fence.
And she takes strike 1. So now we got Coyle at second and Gifford at first.
Yep.
0-2.
It's almost like she had an axe in her hand.
Come on, you know it's coming.
I see an off-speed pitch here.
Speed pitch, yeah.
And she hits one out of play. Still an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Goffstown's got runners at first and second. And that'll do it. She watches one go by. And that'll do it for Goffstown in the bottom of the 5th. And with that, the Lady Generals of John Stark, are up 7-2 heading into the top of the 6th. You know, I know that Coach Fleming watches a lot of these videos, and I tell you that that one inning where Goffstown let up all those runs last inning, that'll be very instructional, because I think yes, you saw that there were some clean hits, no doubt about it, but then on some of these plays where you got, I'll give you the play, that the Lendry play is where the ball gets hit out there. Lendry kind of throws it almost. I don't know. I don't know why she. Yeah, I don't know why it I don't even it got to the pitching circle. Gifford wasn't prepared to cut it off, right? And then the ball then gets thrown gets by, and then the catcher Page is standing by the plate, even though the ball is like 10, 15 feet up the third base line. I
noticed something in John Stark's warm-up. When the ball was hit to the outfield to third.
Yeah.
The pitcher got way over here, almost in foul territory.
Yeah.
When it was at the left, she was somewhere in here. So she was doing the backup.
Yeah.
With us, I noticed Shannon just stays on the mound.
Yeah.
She's got other responsibilities.
Well, even on that other play, right, where it looked like it was like almost like a wild pitch or something, and she stood in the circle. So it's just a matter of situational awareness. And that's why I think sometimes it's good to watch these videos and you learn a lot from him.
So this is the 8-9 slot.
Nice play by Watterson and a good stretch by Mullen. So great defense by Watterson. But, again, they're hitting Gifford today.
Yep.
That's the key.
This girl, she's 2 for 2.
But again, if you look at what, in terms of the damage, they're doing damage at 7, 8, and 9
Yep.
in terms of,
Getting on.
Aubin hasn't gotten on per se, but she put the ball in play twice. Stenger, who's up right now, the catcher, she's had 2 hits.
Yep.
I'm sorry, this is Patno that's up right now, but off-speed pitch for ball 3. And that's in there for a strike, 3-1.
They've been pretty selective around the plate at what they want to hit, too. Ooh.
I think we got that call. It's 3-2. Looked a little low. And she comes back strong. So she went 3-0 count and then came back and struck her out. So great job by Gifford for 2 outs in the inning.
Girls 1 for 3, scored 1 run. Had a double last time.
And there's Gifford. This is Cole Minen. Cole Minen. That's in there for a strike. So here, Brad Parkhurst, he's like, what? Cole Minen? Something, Cole Minen's daughter? What? Cole Miner's daughter? What? Cole Minen, right?
Yeah, Cole Minen's daughter.
Yep.
Good pitch.
And there goes Gifford, another K. So she comes back pretty strong. And I think that says something about Shannon, that she's pretty damn resilient. This is not the greatest game in the world for her right now. She's given up 7 runs.
6 hits.
Yep.
7 hits.
And two bombs, but yet she keeps firing. And again, it's not like she struck out the last 2 batters in that inning. So again, if it were not for that really abysmal, what was it? That was in the fifth inning, yeah. Then this would be a closer game, but
it's not over.
It is not over, and Goffstown's got 2 innings here to pick up at least 5 runs, and they're capable, but they got to string hits together, and that's what they have not really been too successful at doing against good pitching.
So we're 5, 6, 7.
So we're going to see Brennan, Mullen, and Bree Page.
Peterson.
Yeah. Yep. So
Number 4, Liv Brennan.
Brennan, who's playing third today, she grounded out to short and struck out in her last at bat.
Need a good bat from you. Need a good bat.
Yeah, she's got to get on. Her bat's got to wake up here in this game, no doubt. Need her. Either she's crowding the plate or what, but that's the second time that she's been called on an inside pitch where she is cowering away from the pitch. That was outside. So that's what she must be doing. She must be crowding the plate, right, Bill?
It doesn't look like to me that she's that close, though. See? Look at her bat.
Yeah. High, 3-1. Goffstown just needs base runners desperately. This girl, I'll tell you,
For a freshman?
for a freshman, she's tough. And Brennan needs to turn and look. She needs to look because, you know what? The reason why I say that is if the catcher is going to catch it all the way back there, now they have to throw it all the way to second, you know?
The second baseman wasn't moving at all.
Right.
Mullins, F6, 5-3. 0 for 2. Oh,
She was way ahead of that one. And Mullins had a good stick most of the season, so you got to get a hit here, Kaylee. Big gap, same thing, you know, in right center. And she takes a strike. So now she's in a once again an 0-2 hole, and those are tough accounts. High, 2-2.
1-2.
Oh, it's 1-2. I apologize. On deck is 14, Bree Page. Nice stop by the catcher once again. I think she's one of the better catchers in Division II from what I can see. From who have we seen?
Well, the one last week was very good, too.
And that ball's caught right at the right fielder.
Well, they had her position
Yep.
right.
So good bit of hitting by Mullen. She line drives it, but right at the right fielder.
Hit the first baseman, F9.
Popped up. This could be, it's out of play. A lot of spin on that ball.
But she's not getting around at all. And
No, she's
I
not.
wonder if you would have come up with a hand on the bat.
And she fouls it back. She's in, again, we got to give John Stark a lot of credit. Got to give Izzy Nelson, a freshman, a ton of credit. I mean, she has been in a lot of 0-2 counts, 1-2 counts, which means she's in charge. Here we go again, right? It's like deja vu. But it's not with Alex Page. This time it's with Bree Page. We got one out, runner at first with Brennan.
Come on, straighten some of those out now.
I see, it comes an off-speed pitch right here. And she's way ahead of that one, so that's good. Good bit of hitting by Bree Page. Way to hang in there. That was a beautiful bit of hitting right there, folks. So she just got a bat on that.
So she throws that changeup when she's ahead.
Yeah. Still 0-2 count, though. High. Good eye by Page. 1-2. Tell you, between Bree and her sister Alex, they've had some pretty long at bats against this pitcher for John Stark. Another high pitch, 2-2 count.
3-2.
Is it 3-2 or 2-2?
I guess it's 2-2.
2-2. And that's late.
Go back to
And-
first base, please.
Yeah, because you can tag on those
Yeah.
situations. Because you know that it's going to be out of bounds. You think he's telling her that?
I hope so.
Oh, yeah, I think he did. He should be thrown across your body. 2-2 count to Bree Page. And regardless of what happens here, Bill, this is a great at bat by Bree Page. In the dirt, 3-2.
So now what are you going to do? 3-2?
3-2 count. What's the pitcher going to do? She's going to throw heat. She's try to throw heat, but she's
you're
had
not
some.
going to send anybody.
No,
in.
no, not down. And that'll do it. So that was. I don't know if you're going to get a better at bat than that in softball. She was down on an 0-2 count multiple times, fouling pitches away, and you will not find a better at bat than what Bree Page just had there. Drawing a walk, she's got to get on base. So now it's a 1-2, first and second with Cervella. And she takes ball one. And Saya swings through that one for strike one. So we got a 1-1 count, 1 out, first and second. And she watches that second one go by. You got to be aggressive, I think, in this situation.
Come on, let's get something. Get the bat on the ball, please.
And that gets by. Everyone's going to advance.
Now it's more important.
So I think with Saya, it's like the swing is long, meaning that you got to shorten up your swing, and she takes a really long swing. And in this type of pitching, short swing.
It's a
you know, and all you really want to do is just get a hit. You know.
Oof.
And that's a 3-2 count. So Saya Cervella, here's the key. She has, she's got to run. If this ball gets dropped on a drop 3 or whatever, you got to run. That could score a run here. And she goes down swinging for her 3rd strikeout of the game. And now Alex Page with 2 outs, runners at second and third. Need a big hit here. And she takes a strike.
She's 1 for 2.
And Brennan's, she goes back to third base. Face first slide, head first slide. And Alex Page has a chance to get 2 here. Nice job by the catcher. 1-1 count. We've got 2 out. These are 2 really important runs on the base paths right now. I mean, there's a big difference between a 7-4 game and a 7-2 game.
Going into the 7th inning.
And that's a pop-up out of play into the stands. And a lackluster effort by the gentleman there. I think he might have had that had he stood up. He knows it, too. He knows it. 1-2 count now to Alex Page. Goffstown needs a hit desperately here. And that ball gets away from the catcher. And that scores a run. So Brennan heads up base running. It's a wild pitch by Nelson. And the runner advances in Bree Page. So
the other one went to third.
Right. So Bree Page is at third. So Alex has a chance to bring her sister home with a base hit, even a fielder's choice, to be honest with you. So, not a fielder's choice, but and that's going to be a fair ball. That's going to score a run. So Page does her job, and now it's a 7-4 game. Goffstown is now back in this one, and now comes Kara Lendry. And Kara's grounded out and struck out in her at-bats. And yeah. So a nice job by Alex Page and, more importantly, her sister. So Bree Page had the at-bat, the best at-bat that I've seen in the 5 games that we've had here in terms of an 0-2 count, battled back, fouled him off, and drew a walk.
Yep.
You don't do better than that. And she ends up scoring. So Goffstown claws 2 more runs across the plate. And now Lendry steps in. And again, she grounded out to first at her first at bat, and then 2 Ks. Late swing, but a good getting on that one. Met at first with a lot of speed. And that ball is popped out of play. Let's see if they make an effort on that one. No. So now, once again, Nelson is in an 0-2 count. And this is where Lendry has been vulnerable.
Yep. It's where you might see the change.
Yeah, and that's, well, see, this is the thing. There's no risk in throwing the changeup. No risk.
Yep.
Nice stop by the catcher. So Lendry with a 1-2 count.
High heat.
And she goes down swinging for her third strikeout of the game, unfortunately. Now Goffstown picks up 2, but we head into the top of the seventh inning, and John Stark leads 7-4.
That's a no-brainer. That's called what? What? She can hit. She can hit, right?
All right, so we head into the top of the seventh. Goffstown was able to pick up 2 runs, which could play an important role here. If they're able to rally, they'll have their second, third, 2, 3, and 4 hitters up in the bottom of the seventh. But the big key here is that Gifford and the Goffstown team has got to stop John Stark. They cannot get any more runs. And Haley Philibot, the 2-hitter, and she poked a single in her last at-bat in that explosive 5th run by John Stark.
1 for 3, 1 run
In the dirt.
scored.
1-0.
Nice to have a good quick inning. Let's get it over. Let's get up and knock in some runs.
And she puts that one right by her.
Hmm.
2-1 count to Haley Philibot, the center fielder. She didn't really get much action in today's game, right? I don't think any balls went there, center field.
Right field.
Right field, yeah, but not center. Shows bunt, pulls back.
And chops that.
Yep. She definitely went out. I mean, he should have been able to make that call. I mean, she showed bunt. How could you not see that? Yeah, that was no-brainer. 2-2 count to Haley Philibot.
Got her.
Low 3-2. Nice at bat by Haley Philibot as well. They're taking Gifford deep into the counts on the today. And she throws in the dirt, and Philibot gets on base. But we're seeing a lot of long, deep counts. So now it's Izzy Nelson.
Struck out and flew out to right field, and then Waterson made the play on her.
Now, see, Bree Page, she's got to get over there quicker. She pauses, but I don't know if Page will ever throw down there, Alex Page, but Bree Page has got to get to the line quicker. You see what I'm saying? And she's too late.
Mm-hmm.
And she got to take a better angle, too. She's just going, she's going straight across. One, two count. And that gets by.
Come on, you gotta finish.
So now it's a 2-2 count. This is where Goffstown cannot give up any more runs. And now they've got a runner at second with no outs. 2-2 count to Izzy Nelson, the pitcher. And that ball's in the gap. And that's going to score a run. And that'll be a double. And that is also like a situation where the shortstop was on the wrong side of the bag. She's got to be closer. And I say that because that ball could hit the runner, and then who knows where it goes. So, and that's in there for a strike. So it's an 8-4 lead now, and Izzy Nelson with a double helps herself. Tell you, she's going to be quite the player, you know. I mean, she's a great pitcher. And as you can see, she just has it stick, too. They're giving signs here.
What are you going to do? Run.
Someone's got to come in and get her. She's safe. She's safe. Oh, I thought she was safe. I thought she was safe, my friends.
So this is a fielder's choice.
What does Brad think?
Yep.
What do you think on that one? I thought she was safe. I thought she slid underneath the tag.
So that was 4-6 to 5.
I will give the umpires credit here. They are asking each other for help on these calls. A big out there. Strike. Again, see.
Yep. And you know what? You know what my feeling is? You go to the fence.
Right.
So you don't let any ball go
Right.
down to
Right.
down the fence.
Right. Watterson with a great
Nice
play.
play.
Woo! What a nice. She couldn't make the stop, but a great backhanded play by Watterson, but she could not get up in time to. She had dirt everywhere. That was a beautiful backhanded
Yep.
play.
And you notice she crossed over on
Yeah.
her first step.
They're getting the bat on the ball.
Yeah, they are.
I know she's got quite a few.
And again, Sarvella has got to come. She's got to come in harder too. And I tell you, if I'm Matt Fleming, I tell you in practice, you better have your outfielders. I'm talking sprint to the lines, not.
Well, even Mullen was. The base is open.
And that's
see?
in there.
Landry, I mean, in center. Watch her. She's only
Yeah, she should be.
taking a couple steps.
She should be coming in hard. Yeah.
Onto almost the dirt.
We got a 1-2 count with one out to number 10, Lily Stonger? Stogner. Pronounced her name wrong the entire game. Sorry, Lily. We got a 1-2 count to Stogner.
2 men on.
High. See, it's interesting. You got Coyle who goes over, right? But the center fielder doesn't move. And you got to all come in.
Cater.
And she got her out. And the reason why I say that is because if the ball goes over there and it dribbles into the outfield, then you're never going to get
Right.
a runner at second coming in.
Come and cut the distance down.
Exactly.
Outfield positioning, a big deal.
And that's a double down the line, and gets by Cervella. She hits the cutoff, a double, and another run scores. So number 12, Elizabeth Aubin, doubles down the line, and it gets past Cervella, goes to the corner.
Number 11, Anna Denzer.
They're hitting her well. And that was a low strike, but a strike nonetheless. 2 outs, runner at second and third. This is big. We got to get the out here if you have any chance of coming back. Can't go down by a 7 spot. Ooh, another really low pitch. That was called a strike. I don't know. I feel bad for Stenger there, the catcher. It looked like there was two pitches at the knees, if that. And she then goes
whiffs.
after a high one. Looks like the Goffstown Police Department is here in a very tough spot. I hope our tax dollars don't have to deal with a dent.
Got her.
That's another hit. That'll score 2.
Home. Boy, that girl at the number 9 spot
Yeah.
hurt us today.
Yeah.
Hurt us big time.
No, that was Stenger. At the 9 spot. She had the 8
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, she's hurt us too.
She has 3 hits.
Yeah.
And that's going to be trouble too. Nope, but Cervella catches it, and that'll do it. But they pick up another 3 runs, so pretty much get back up now by 6 runs as Goffstown heads into the bottom of the 7th, and it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters.
Four hits.
How many hits did they have?
5, 9, 10, 12. 12 hits. Long way back, but it's possible.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Leading off for the Grizzlies, number 12, Tegan Coyle.
So Tegan Coyle, who's had a great day at the plate, she's got on base, I think every
3.
time, right?
3 for 3.
Yeah, she's gotten on base, walked, hit by pitch, single, bunt, whatever. So, maybe I don't know, like in terms of leadoff, that's who you got to get. You got to get on base.
That's going to
She's got to get there.
Oh my gosh. No.
She's out.
No way! She slid under it!
I think she was out. I think they got her.
All day.
I think she was out on that one. What do you think, Brad?
Huh?
I think she was out. Yeah. I think she got the slide. I think she got the tag on her.
2 to
Number 2,
6.
Sandy Gibbons.
And she paused on that one a little bit, And that's going to be to the center fielder, and that's the second out of the inning. And in steps Watterson. And Goffstown is down to their last out.
Number 11, Josephine Watterson.
So the story of the game really is, that explosive fifth inning. But by the same token, you got to give credit where credit is due here. The Generals of John Stark they just hit Goffstown.
Yeah.
I would venture to say, 10, 11 hits in this
11
game?
hits.
11 hits, yeah. I mean, Gifford had, I think, 10 or 11 strikeouts as well, but 11 hits aren't going to win too many games. Watterson takes strike 2.
Little shoddy play
Yeah.
in the field too,
Yeah.
folks.
First time they started hitting.
But I think the story in this game is the hitting by John Stark.
And also, the pitcher's done a heck
Yeah.
of a job.
Oh, yeah. And that's it. So Goffstown loses to the John Stark Generals by a score of 10-4. And so, Bill, I think the lessons learned on this one is you got some pretty good pitching on John Stark. I guess it's just we could not string the hits for Goffstown. But more importantly, I just think you got to give credit where credit is due to John Stark. I mean, there's 11 hits, good fielding, great pitching by Nelson, couple of home runs. They deserve to win.
I think
Bottom
they had
line.
something to show today because they were scuffed a little bit last week
Yeah,
in a couple of their games.
yeah. So great job by John Stark, and now Milford. Goffstown will play Milford, who's the #1 team in the state, and that's going to be at Milford. That's going to be a tall order for them. But a couple of bright spots. I thought that Bree Page and Alex Page had a good game today, no doubt. Tegan had a good game as well. She got on base every time, right?
Yep.
Four times. So with that, it's just really got to get some opportune hits here and there. And the one thing that I'm seeing is that we're getting too many strikeouts. Just
from key players.
Right, exactly. Leadoff spot had 3 Ks. Number 8 had I think three, and that's where we got to. There's a lot of Ks all around, and so with that, we're going to head out. I think our next game will be next week. So good luck to Goffstown as they face off on Milford on Wednesday, and we'll call it a day. Thank you.